All right, so this is 1.2, apply orders of operations. So with our order of operations, it's Pemdas. So the first one is parentheses. I feel like that's spelled wrong. It's definitely an A instead of an E. And that's an E. Apparently I cannot spell today. Not that I can usually spell, but all my... What is happening? Come on. Okay, there we go. There we go. It's like all my vowels are wrong. All right, so parentheses, okay, or any kind of a grouping symbol. So it's not always a parentheses. It could be like a bracket or something like that, but anything inside there. Then the next one is exponents, which is what we were dealing with in the last section. It's kind of be a continuation in this one. And then multiplication, or multiply, and divide. So these two can go, they occur left to right. So it doesn't matter which one you do first. You don't have to do multiplication before you do division. You can do them either or. And then add or subtract, which those also can be done at the same time. They get done left to right. So that's the last thing that you do in the problems. So I'm just going to work through a couple of the practice problems that they have, the guided practice problems out of the front of the section for today. We'll just work through some of those, and then tomorrow we'll probably actually go through and do some out of the actual homework set. So let's see. So I'll just note this so that we know where they came from. So from the guided practice at the beginning of the section, and they are numbered, so they should match the numbers in your book. So I'm going to go ahead and just use those. Let's see, number 2. We have 2 times 3 squared plus 4. So with something like this, okay, following order of operations, we don't have anything in parentheses, so we don't have to worry about that. So then the next one would be exponents. So we're going to do the 3 squared, which is 3 times 3, so that's 9, and then we copy the rest down. Now multiplication and division, so 2 times 9, that's 18, plus 4, and lastly we can do our adding and subtracting. So it'll be 22. Then let's look at number 3. This one is 32 divided by 2 raised to the 3rd power plus 6. So again, we don't have anything in parentheses, but we do have exponent. So we're going to do the 2 raised to the 3rd power first. So 2 times 2 times 2 is going to be 8. So we're going to have 32 divided by 8 plus 6. So then multiplication, division is next. So we can do 32 divided by 8, which is going to be 4, plus 6 is going to be 10. Let's see. So those ones didn't have any parentheses in them. The next group of them is going to have some parentheses with them. And so that just means we're going to do that part first. So let's see, number 6. Still, all these are going to be guided practice. So this is 3 and then parentheses 8 minus 2 squared, or 2 raised to the 2nd power. A lot of times I'm going to say squared for raised to the 2nd power and cubed for raised to the 3rd power just because out of habit. So just that's what that means if you hear me say that. All right, so this one we do have parentheses, so we're going to do the stuff inside there first. And then once you go inside the parentheses, you still do the stuff in there in order of Pemdas. So exponents, since there's an exponent in this one, we're going to do that part first before we do the subtracting part. So in this case, we're going to have 3, and then the parentheses, 8 minus 2 times 2 is 4. So then I still want to complete the stuff that's in the parentheses first, so I'm going to go ahead and do the subtraction of 8 minus 4, which is going to be 3 times 4. And then now I can do the multiplication, which is going to give you 12. Let's see, number 7. 2, and then we have a bracket, so it's just like the straight parentheses. And then we have a parentheses of 9 plus 3, and then close the parentheses, divided by 4, and then we close off the bracket. So that was part of when we said parentheses. Some people for Pemdas actually say GEMDAS, so they do grouping symbols. So the brackets are another symbol that groups just like a parentheses. So when we have something like this, here, I'll see if I can underline it this way. We're going to go and we're going to do this stuff inside of here first because that's the biggest grouping symbol. But inside of that big grouping symbol, I have another grouping symbol. So I'm going to actually end up doing this part first, then doing the division, and then going from there. So the 2 outside stays, and then in here, so this is 9 plus 3, which is going to be 12. And then just copy down the divided by 4. I'm going to go ahead and complete what's inside here, the 12 divided by 4, which is going to be 3. So then I'm going to have 2 times 3. And once you get to that point, like I just use the parentheses up here to leave it. You could also just do the little dot to show multiplication. So then that's just going to be 6. I just tend to try to keep the symbol that was already in use when I go with it. All right, so then definitely forgot there was stuff leaning against the stool. Oops. All right, so then the last little bit of the guided practice that we'll do for today, just kind of as the intro, says to evaluate the expression when y equals 8. So evaluate, again, I cannot spell what is happening. Evaluate when y equals 8. So a problem like this, we have number 8 here. Y squared minus 3. We both have stuff falling over, apparently. All right, so with this one, so now we're gonna replace y with the number 8. I think that was kind of what we did in 1.1 as well. It was replacing the numbers. So we're gonna put 8 in here. So I'm gonna have 8 raised to the second power minus 3. So then 8 times 8 is 64 minus 3, and then that's gonna be 61. And then one last one, and then I'll just have you do the other ones that we didn't do, or try those ones. And then we can go over those tomorrow if there's any questions, because those answers won't be in the back, I don't think. I don't know. Is number 10. So 10y plus 1 divided by y plus 1. So when you have a fraction bar like this, I always say do the stuff on top, then do the stuff on the bottom, and then divide the two things. It just makes it way easier to do it when you think about it, because in a sense, and the reason is because we could also write it as 10y plus 1 divided by y plus 1, and so if we did that, we would do the stuff in parentheses first, and then we would do the division last. And so that's kind of, the fraction bar is sometimes also looked at as another like grouping symbol. So just fun fact for you. So still have y is equal to 8, so we're going to replace these two y's with 8. So 10 times 8 plus 1 over 8 plus 1. So then on top, 10 times 8 is 80, and I'll go ahead and just add the 1, so that's going to be 81 over 8 plus 1 is 9, and then we can do then 81 divided by 9, which is just going to be 9. Any questions about any of those ones? Cool. We'll do some more out of the actual homework tomorrow, but what I'm going to have you do just to get a little bit of practice here today is the ones that we didn't do. So we did not do 1, 4, 5. 1, 4, 5. And then 6, 7, 8, and 9. So just those 4. And I won't actually have you turn them in. Tomorrow we'll just go over them. But just to get a little bit of practice here, you can do those ones. And again, those are out of the guided practice on page 8 and 9.